Welcome back to Part 2 Tuesday. This is Part 2 of Theseus and the Minotaur. So where we left off, the king and queen of Minos, they send their son to go compete in the Pantheonic Games. And the Pantheon was kind of like the Olympics. It was similar to that. So you went over and you wanted to win medals, fight to the death, fight other people from different nations, and hopefully come back victorious and get some pride for your area. So the Prince of Minos goes to the Pantheonic Games, but what happens? He ends up dying in the Pantheonic Games, and he dies to the bull that impregnated his mother that was sent down by Zeus all those years ago. The bull who's fathered the Minotaur. It's the Minotaur's father. And the king of Minos is devastated. I mean, old wounds have been torn up. So what he does is he says that every year, 7 men and 7 women must come from Athens and avenge his son, who has died in the Pantheonic Game. And he wants them to go in to the labyrinth and kill the Minotaur. And they have to navigate the labyrinth, get in, get out, kill the Minotaur. And if they do, they will be given riches beyond compare. Tons of money. Everybody wants money. But it was more Hunger Games. It wasn't like volunteer. It was more like the king and queen of Athens had to uphold this. And they were sending 7 men and 7 women to Minos, basically to die every year. Until the 3rd year. This had gone on for 3 years, and finally, the king and queen of Athens, their son, Prince Theseus was very brave, and he said, no more of our people will die. I'm going to Minos, and I'm going to kill the Minotaur once and for all. And his mother and father were very upset about this, but there was nothing they could do. Theseus had made his decision, and he was going. And he said goodbye to his mother and father, the king and queen of Athens, and he said, if I come back and the sails on the boat are white, then I have lived and I was successful. But if I come back and the sails on the boat are black, I am dead. So he goes to Minos and he meets a young woman, and it's actually the princess of Minos. They had a daughter in the meantime, and Theseus and her fall in love, a whirlwind romance. I mean, they are absolutely obsessed with each other. And this is kind of what Theseus needed, because she actually gives him some insight that just because he can get into the labyrinth and just because he's able to overpower the Minotaur and kill it, doesn't mean he'll be able to get back out. It is a maze. So the princess of Minos gives him a big giant ball of string, and she says, hold the string and let it go, so that once you've gone in, you've killed my stepbrother Minotaur, you can follow the string back out of the maze and return back to me. And that's exactly what Theseus does. He says his goodbyes, and he makes his way into the labyrinth with his string and his rope trailing behind him. So Theseus does it. He makes it through the end of the labyrinth. He confronts the bull of Minos, and with his hands only, no swords, he kills him and puts him to his death. And he returns to Athens with his beloved with billowing white sails.